What's going on, guys? So the game last night versus the Spurs. Once again, we played the Spurs like 3 nights ago or something, and now we played them again the other night. Overall, it wasn't a bad game. It was pretty good. It kind of got a little bit sus. What was it? End of the third, beginning of the fourth. That's when Denver was kind of, I don't know what they were doing. They're kind of playing just bad. It was kind of odd. So at the beginning of the game, first quarter, it was kind of different because also Denver didn't. They only scored 28 points in the first quarter, which is kind of weird because they're normally, like my previous videos, I've said they come out hot at the beginning and they cool down in the second half. And this time they didn't. They started with 28. They usually have like 40. So I'm like, that's odd. Which 40 is really high. That's already a really high scoring quarter. So I don't expect them to keep that up all the time. But yeah, it's just kind of weird to see how much they kind of cool down. You know, I was expecting at least like low 30s, but yeah, no, the 28, I was like, that's kind of odd. They did have a great second quarter though. They scored 37 points. Third quarter, once again, they didn't do too hot. I can't tell if they did good or just they kind of matched with their opponent, because the Spurs scored 27 points in the third quarter. Denver scored 29. But if it was another team that would, like the Warriors, who's a third quarter team, that would look bad because they would score like 37 and outplay Denver. So I can't really tell if, that's Denver playing consistently. Because per usual, per Denver, that's not really, I guess that's average, I guess. I'm just not used to seeing it as 29. I guess seeing it in the 20s in the third quarter is kind of average for them, which is not great because they usually cool down in the third quarter. They're usually not a third quarter team, and they usually score in the 20s, whereas every other quarter is usually like around the 30s, 40s. So I still can't judge. I still, I can't really tell if that was a good quarter for them or a bad quarter. However, at the beginning, I think it was the beginning of the third, maybe towards the end of the fourth. I don't really remember, but I remember watching it, and at one point I told my sister, I was like, yo, this is how I envision Denver being when they're healthy. Because it was beautiful to watch, man. Jamal Murray, some of those passes he was having and some of those shots, I was like, yo, he's getting back to it. Like, he's looking really, really good. My hair's all fucking messy. I was like, dude, he's looking really good. He had like a nice behind the back pass. I didn't think he was going to get it to Jokic at all, because there's like a defender at his hip and a defender in front of him. I was like, dude, I was going to pass it. He threw a behind the back pass to get. I was like, bro, that was fucking beautiful. Like, great pass. He also had another great pass to Jokic where he kind of like drove in and then threw a little whoo, like to Jokic. Dude, it was beautiful. And then their 2-man game, I was like, oh my god, I missed this, bro. It was beautiful. And then whenever they couldn't get something, they pass it to MPJ, or they'd pass it to fucking Caldwell Pope or someone else, and they shoot a 3. I'm like, bro, it was beautiful. At one point, I told my sister, I was like, yo, when Denver's playing and they're on like this, they're actually really scary, because we got Aaron Gordon cutting a lot. Like, he's getting dunks and everything. He's sneaking up behind the defense to cut, because they're watching out for the 3-point shooters that are MPJ, KCP, Bruce Brown's turning into one. But then they have to watch the 2-man game of Jokic and Murray. And bro, it was beautiful to watch, man. Like, at one point, I legit was watching my own team, and and I've never really thought this before, but I legitimately thought, bro, this team is scary. Like, when they're on, this team is scary, because you have Jamal Murray hitting, you have MPJ shooting like damn near like 45% from 3-point range, you have Jokic, 2-time MVP, you have Aaron Gordon, who could also get his own. You got to watch for those putback dunks and stuff, and MPJ is also helping out with the offensive rebounds too. So he's going down there with Jokic and with DeAndre Jordan. He's trying to get rebounds as well. And then you also have to watch out for KCP on the perimeter with the 3-point shooting, along with Bruce Brown, along with the Bones Highlands. Like, dude, this team is actually like, if they could work on their defense, if their defense was top notch, bro, they would be terrifyingly good. Like, they'd be like damn near Milwaukee Bucks. Like, because I personally think they could outscore the Milwaukee Bucks, but the Bucks defense is probably on like another level from Denver. Like, it's like, I wouldn't even classify them in the same category. Like, Denver has Milwaukee beat on offense, but Milwaukee has them beat on defense. So if Denver could just like step up their defense, because their defensive rating isn't that great last time I checked. I have the stat right here. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. This is for offense. Well, I had the defensive ends, but yeah, I don't have them anymore. But yeah, they were not ranked very high on defensive ratings, so it's kind of alarming to see that. On to some of the bad stuff that I noticed. Jokic. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's missing a lot of bunnies, like a lot of like little gimmies, a lot of like little layups, a lot of little floaters that he was hitting consistently all last year. He's not hitting so much anymore. I think it was towards the end of the fourth quarter, early mid fourth quarter. He missed like 2 bunnies in a row, like 2 just like point like at the rim layups, and he missed. I'm like, bro, Jokic, we need those. Those are a close game. It was like a 1, 2, 3 point game. I'm like, Jokic, we need those points. Like, why? Like, you're usually automatic from here. It's kind of weird. Even the announcer was all like, oh, Jokic, like, because Jokic usually makes those automatic. I don't know if it's because he's taking way less shots now, and so when he does shoot it, he's kind of like, it's off a little bit. Cause, you know, if you're a shooter and you don't shoot for a while, it's just kind of like your I don't, not depth perception, but your range is a little bit, you know, a little bit short, a little bit off. But I'm just like, bro, we need those ones. But then he came back, he missed those 2 bunnies, and then he comes back and shoots a mid-range right over the center of the Spurs. I forgot his name, sorry. He was doing really well, actually. But he shot a mid-range right over him and made it. I'm like, okay, so he still got the shot, but he just wasn't making the bunnies. It's kind of odd. But yeah, it's Jokic. It hurt me to see him miss those layups. I'm like, bro, like, they're like right at the rim. You're like 7 feet, bro. Like, dude, it killed me. It killed me. I don't really have anything bad to say about MPJ. Shooting lights out. He, as always, dude, that guy's doing amazing. Once again, the only thing that concerns me is his ball handling. Man, as soon as that man puts that ball on the floor, I get a little bit nervous because I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't even think he knows what he's gonna do. Makes me a bit nervous when he puts the ball on the floor. That, once again, in his defense. I feel like if because I noticed towards the end of the game, they had Bruce Brown in instead of MPJ. And in my head, I was like, dude, we got to have MPJ in there. But I know why Coach Malone didn't do that, because MPJ can't defend that well. And since it's like a 1-2 point game, you need someone that could also defend. And Bruce Brown's not shooting that bad from 3-point range either. So it's like, you know, like, you could have a better shooter in MPJ, a slightly better shooter right now than in MPJ, but way worse at defense. Or a little bit slightly less great of a shooter in Bruce Brown, but get better defense. And when it comes to crunch time, that's probably the way to go. So Bruce Brown. If MPJ could work on that defense, bro, I was thinking in my head, I was like, if I was Coach Malone, I would tell him, hey man, you work on your defense, you show me you're working on it, you take defensive end seriously, because we all know what you can do on offense. If you take that defensive end seriously and you show me what you can do, and I see your improvement, then I'll trust you at the end of the game. You know, you'll be in there. Like, it's just, yeah, MPJ needs to work on the defense a little bit, you know, defense and ball handling. He can shoot the fucking lights out, and he's lengthy, he's tall, you know, he's athletic. He just needs to work on that defense and needs to work on the ball handling, and then he'll be, dude, Denver will be even more fucking scary. It'll be crazy. Murray, amazing, dude. Like I said a little bit prior in the video, dude, he was doing shit like old Murray. I was like, bro, this is gorgeous to watch. I love watching Murray do what he did. It was, dude, it was just amazing. He had those layups, he had those passes, there was one where he was dribbling it and he just like shovel passed it right to Aaron Gordon, dude. Like, he did like a little crossover, and then like with this hand he just kind of threw it to Aaron Gordon. He turned around, you could see him go like, ooh, like that, like before Aaron Gordon even dunked it, because he knew it was a fucking nice play, dude. It was beautiful. It was really fun to watch. That's why I said, man, this team is really scary, because Aaron Gordon only had 9 points this game. Like, other games he'd have like 15, 20, I think a couple games he had like 26, 27, and that's what's scary about it, because Aaron Gordon can get his own, but then you also have, so like he didn't get his own, he only had 9 points, but then you have MPJ with 24, Jokic 26, KCP 11, Jamal Murray with 19. It's like, dude, you could, like, they could get hit from every angle, man. Like, just, dude, Denver's pretty scary on the offensive end. Defensive end, they don't do too bad, actually. They picked it up since the beginning of the season. Well, we're still in the early games, but you know. But yeah, like I said, MPJ could just get on get on that get that defensive awareness, like, which he'll get over time. I'm not worried. I'm sure he'll turn into a better defender as long as he stays healthy. But yeah, it just like they're gonna be terrifying, man. Bones Highland also did pretty well. Once again, man, I read a comment that someone posted on the Nuggets Instagram saying that, like, when he starts to do well, he plays like he's on a playground, and it's like, dude, you gotta like chill a little bit. Because when you play on a playground, you do get a little bit more reckless, and he does get a little bit more reckless. Like I said in my last video, like, it's fun to watch and it's cool, and you know, but like there were some times where I'm just like, bro, please just like pass the ball. Like, good God, like pass it. Or like, there were some cheeky turnovers at the end. And this wasn't even just Bones. Bones had one. I think DeAndre Jordan had one. No, Bones Highland had one where he was passing to Jokic at the top of the key. And I saw the Spurs guy behind Jokic. I know Jokic didn't see it because he's facing. He's like facing Bones. There's a guy behind him, right? Behind Jokic. And Bones throws the ball to Jokic's like hand, but Jokic doesn't see behind him. Bones needs to call out Wolf, something like behind something, like, hey, watch out. And he didn't. He just like threw it to Jokic, even though there's a guy behind him. The Spurs guy stole the ball. They took off. I'm like, Bones, you're the PG, bro. You're the point guard. You need to be aware of that, dude. Like, that's not on Jokic. That's on you. You cannot be throwing him passes like that. That's like a quarterback throwing to a wide receiver when they see a guy about to fucking tackle him. Like, it's a risky play. Like, don't be doing that, dude. That's not the play. So he does get a little bit reckless. Sometimes, like I said, man, it's just some shots. I'm like, bro, I don't know what he's doing, but he's a hype man. I get it. He just needs to, needs to slow it down a bit, man. Don't get too reckless. I don't mind all of the little playground moves that he does, like, you know, and like I said, I enjoy watching it. I just wish he was a little bit more careful with that. Like, he just gets a little bit reckless, man. A little bit of the turnovers, which will bring me to my next point. I'm not gonna act like the game was, you know, it was great, because end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, we basically just beat ourselves, dude. Even the announcer was all like, Denver's beating themselves. Like, they're turning the ball over. I think they had like 21, 22 turnovers that game. It was not good. And there were stupid turnovers, like just bad passes. I don't know what's going on with Jokic either. He's throwing a lot more turnovers than I'm accustomed to him doing. Like, there's one on a fast break where Bruce Brown, sorry, I don't have the highlights, but yeah, Bruce Brown was on a fast break. He tried to throw this fucking, bro, narrow ass gap. And even in my head, I'm like, dude, don't throw that. Don't throw that. It's not gonna work. He tried. Spurs player stole it. And I was like, fucking A. Or he just like, kind of lobs it softly, or the center tipped it and they turned it over. I'm like, Jokic, bro, like, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's throwing these weird passes that just aren't making sense. And it kind of worries me right now. But we're still winning. But like I said, it was alarming. When I was watching the game, I was like, honestly, even if we win, this is an ugly game to watch. I didn't even want to watch it at the beginning of the fourth. I'm like, this is just getting ugly. Like, Denver is just turning the ball over. They're doing stupid mistakes. Like, it got ugly. But thank God we held our composure. KCP hit a clutch 3 at the end, and yeah, we won that one, man. Thank God. The next game against the Pacers, should win that one. I never put it past the Nuggets to lose a team they should beat. So we could lose. I'm not expecting to lose, but it wouldn't surprise me, because it's just how Denver is, man. They lose against the teams that they should beat, and then they beat the teams they should lose against. So yeah, they should win. Wouldn't surprise me if they don't, but they should definitely beat the Pacers. So thanks for watching, man. See you guys next time.